Hello, everybody. We are back for the second series of tonight, the last series of week 2 of the VCS. We just came off an absolute banger of a series. Do we think the second one between FTV and the Dashing Buffalo is going to live up, at least in a little bit? It's hard to live up to that first one, but at least a little
give
bit.
me two pentacles for police, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if our boy Police can have a great one, that'd be great. Of course, I am everyday. With me, as always, is Yulwei. I need to learn to point this way. It's the opposite way. I keep doing this. And our special guest tonight, Vinny, bringing a little bit of extra brain power to this analyst section of ours. Good to have you as always.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, welcome back. Wasn't a very long break, only about 20 minutes. Didn't have much time to do anything, but what are we thinking for this second series? FTV has been off to a bit of a rough start.
So first, let me rant a little bit about VCS scheduling, because this is super weird to have as the last series.
Sure,
we have
go
not
ahead.
seen either team play so far in this week. They played last week. The last match they played was last week, so it's actually a week ago they played the last match. We have no idea how the match read will be. I don't understand why you don't just schedule this as the first match on Saturday. Yesterday we had most of the teams that played on Friday play again on Saturday. Just a little strange, in my opinion. So I actually don't know what to expect here. DBL looked good last week, though.
I would probably not expect too much improvement from FTV, but
Sadly.
because
They have had a week, though.
I mean, they have had a week, and yes, Flash came a long way, but Flash are solid players.
Yeah.
They had the pieces. FTV, I'm pretty sure, does not. As for Buffalo, could go either way.
It absolutely could.
Buffalo showed great drafts, though, last week, I think. They were one of our favorite drafts.
Yeah,
please.
They had good drafts. They played at least against Adonis. Very much not like you'd expect from a Vietnamese team.
Yeah,
they
it's true.
That series was relatively slow and controlled and all about rotation and macro.
Yeah, I will say,
concerning.
If we're talking about this series, it is worth weighing in with the person who is apparently the oracle of the VCS, as we just do have a little prediction game in the English Discord, which, by the way, if you ever wanted to join, there is the invite link under the stream. We'd love to have you. We have fun. But we do have a little prediction game.
You can definitely still beat the casters at the predictions, because
pretty sure we're bottom 2.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, we're not doing well at all.
I have an excuse.
Just want to put out, Amber, currently leading the way, has not lost a point yet. Has predicted every series and the score of every series, and she has DBL winning 2-1. Apparently she's got the script.
That's only for this week.
No, it is only for this week. You're right. Sorry,
yes.
They haven't got it perfect last week. I'm wrong.
Last week they messed up the Flash series.
Okay,
against EVOS.
Let's just pretend they're still perfect. Let's not drag their history up.
This week perfect is very impressive as well.
Incredibly.
I mean, very, very impressive that they got it perfect so far this week, especially considering nobody.
Here we go.
Oh, okay, but nobody expected.
I think Pan is in. Yeah,
Flash.
I saw him on stage. Pan for DBL. So this is the trainee, also DK coming in. So it looks change for Dashing Buffalo. Maybe trying something new against FTB, which is supposed to be our weakest team here right now.
Sorry,
the only O2 team.
Guys, you guys go ahead and cast. I just need to.
So Pan is the prodigy that came in last summer. I think he turned 17 on the of July. So he was not actually able to play. Kaido struggled a lot, so they wanted to have Reizo struggled a lot, sorry. So Kaido, who's now named Pan, came in. Looked very bad on Jax. We have never seen him again, so let's see what he can bring to the table this year.
Yeah, really got a fighting chance.
He looks horrific, honestly. Just didn't look ready, but to be fair, he was coming in, he basically turned 16 and was brought in pretty much immediately. So perhaps he'll impress us, but looking at these bands, it's looking pretty standard there, except for the Karma band, definitely interesting. But Aphelios has been picked up. A good start here for FTV. Get police on a strong champion.
Yep, it's very interesting. I think the Karma band is... Maybe they have a little bit of research going on. Because Karma on this pack got a big buff for solo lanes. It's definitely possible to play Karma top lane.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to see the center from Big Core. So we should have both our ADCs down.
I don't know if you needed to pick center there, first rotation. But it's not terrible.
Probably not. If you want to lock in your ports, you can. I prefer this jungler because most likely this pair would be Tahm Kench, and it leaves you open to the Blitzcrank pick as the counter. Or
I agree. Jungler is a good choice here. Would FTV want to? Yeah, I think the Braum is not a bad option. Braum not too bad into. Actually, not super great into center and lane.
It's going to be the Lee Sin though.
Projectiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potham. Hate when they put random letters at the end. Potham picking up.
Potham.
Yeah.
Are we sure it's not POTM?
I'm not saying like that though.
He was known as Pot last year, so I think it's okay if you do.
Alright, Pot.
Look, I'm just going to put it out there. If you're a player and I'm casting you, and you make your name just random letters, I'm just going to figure out a word that looks like it. I don't care.
Chip.
Yeah, exactly. Chip. I'm not spelling your name out in the middle of a team fight. No way. But it is Rumble versus Rise, most likely in the mid lane. Both strong picks, honestly, for Victory and Null.
Yeah. And so far the draft's looking good, especially for FTV side. I really like big effect.
Both of those suspected mid laners could go top, and they banned the Tahm Kench themselves.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
I don't think we often see
Rise is still play top lane. I've not seen top lane Rise in forever.
I think he can.
I'm not saying it. It's not super likely, but there's always the possibility, depending on matchup.
Yeah, I think Rumble and Rise are pretty much mid laners at the moment. Rumble's not going top very often.
Yeah.
He can,
hopefully.
depending on matchup.
I don't want to see Rika Rumble. I really don't. Also, Victory had a great performance yesterday. No, it was not yesterday. Last Sunday.
Yeah.
He played the Aatrox on the mid lane, and he almost carried the game for FTV. So it's probably Victory, one of the best players right now for FTV, and it's good to see him on a very active early game champion like Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hope he doesn't go Predator.
Yeah, Rumble's also a very good team fight pick, which I think is just great for the VCS.
Can we talk about Kuroko playing today for FTV?
Yeah, we can.
Why?
Why is Kuroko in support?
They seem to really rely on Kuroko and the comms, because Kuroko has played almost every position on the team. Only ADC.
Are we going to get AP support, Jarvan?
I think we might be getting Pike at the moment, which is what being hovered. Aphelios Pike, a very interesting comp, and it is locked in. So unless we do see some wacky solo lane Pike, which I think is pretty much dead at this point, if even G2 is not going to play it, Pike Aphelios versus Braum Senna. I mean,
Braum Senna will
you can hook the Senna, right?
I guess you can. If Braum is not aware of what you're doing, but I think bot lane nothing will. This Pike will want to roam, especially because he's a jungle player, so he probably doesn't want to lane a whole lot. Just let police collect some farm, then go towards mid lane, go towards top lane, and try to make the plays.
I gotta say,
last pick one.
With that Ornn coming in, aside from the Pike, which is a bit of a weird one, this is a shockingly meta draft.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The Pike is a bit of a curveball, but I mean, Pike's not terrible or anything like that. definitely some really, really good picks here. Top lane, Gangplank versus Ornn, Farmfest, for sure. Where are you looking for the explosive, important plays?
Winnie, do you want to go first?
Wherever Pike goes.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Probably
Quite
mid.
simply, wherever Pike goes. And yeah, I think mid has the most room to explode early, especially for FTV. You've got Rumble into Rise. Rumble should have the early advantage.
Definitely should.
But yeah, so I think we're gonna probably see a party in the mid lane or bot lane even, as just wherever Pike ends up.
I have to say, I'm very intrigued by this composition for dashing buff. They've put X in the all basket,
Yeah.
which is fair after his last performance, right? He absolutely stomped on Loki. Was Loki, right?
Yeah, it was Loki.
Yeah, Cassio 8-0 Cassio performance. He looked like revitalized. He looked like his former self when DBL, or at that point still, what was their name before? Fengwu Buffalo, right. When Fengwu Buffalo won the league, Null dominated mid lane, and he looked revitalized last week. I like that they try to give him the carry setup here. Senna is more like a secondary carry or even tertiary carry, and now Ornn is just there to provide a front line and engage. So Null needs to step up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Null is going to have a big role to play. Against Rumble, it's not a very hard lane. He's not really going to be expected to... He'll just get pushed in, and then he'll clear it, and then he'll push it back.
Early game is super annoying to play for Rice, though. Rice doesn't have the mana to really push against Rumble early on, pre-tier. It's a weird matchup to play for Rumble, because there's no kill pressure on him.
Absolutely.
But he can't do anything.
I will cut you off just momentarily. We are, once again, going to say goodbye to Mr. Vinny, as he will be back for more analysis after the game, as me and Yulwei take over the cast. Thank you, Mr. Vinny, of course. Chat, do show your appreciation. As we go into game here properly, the Rift is up. I don't think anything's really going to happen at level 1.
Very defensive setup if you look at the rune, not only rune choices, also especially triple teleport for DBL. They just want to handshake lanes, farm, and win in the late game. This is not a typical VCS comp, I have to say.
Oh.
There's still a lot of potential for early game bot lane plays with 2 teleports coming in for Pan and Null. But this definitely looks like DBL has watched a lot of maybe LCK, maybe Origin and LEC. So a lot of the more reserved teams, and tries to replicate this.
Yeah, one thing I am not too happy about is Pun starting with that corrupting potion. I really like the Ornn strategy of starting with a refillable, and then after a couple of CS, you build yourself a Doran's. I think that's the way to go. But at the same time, it is a Gangplank, so maybe you want to match corrupting with corrupting. I'm not sure.
Yep, that's a good call as well. They also fought on level 1 already, so both down to 2 corrupting pots on level 1. Usually we see Gangplank playing very aggressively in the first level. Oh, DK.
Ooh, DK could find here onto victory, but I don't think he's going to be able to dash forward. He's only
We've
level
not actually
2.
talked a lot about DK. There was a lot
of we have not. Yeah.
Players coming in, but DK also subbing in for Meliodas, which is quite surprising. I think Meliodas, it's maybe not his meta right now. Meliodas is not so great on the rec size. His Lee Sin is infamous for being quite bad.
Quite terrible.
So, yeah, we saw Zhu Hao being subbed in early on when he was...
Ooh, here comes a bit of a counter invade here. DK might be caught out, just has to flash over that wall. Did not have level 3 for the tunnel, but he gets away.
Not skilled yet. I think he's not skilled yet. It's a little bit unfortunate there.
Yeah. It's a well-done play from FTV. Very little invested for them, and they get the jungler's flash. And Rek'Sai without flash is much less scary.
It is indeed. A good, very bad start for DK. He wanted to go for the early play your first ever professional game for DBL. You want to go off to a great start, support all the laners, and set them up. But sadly, he has to now be a little bit on the back foot.
Yeah, absolutely. This bot lane, I think it's going to be very hard for Pyke to find anything. So we would like to see him roaming. Obviously not yet. He probably wants to go back and get his Moby boots, and then he'll start up the roam in full swing. DK, though, has come to the mid lane. Victory flashes away, and of course there is no Rek'Sai flash to follow. But he gets the flash. He's now much more exposed.
Flash forced, not the bursts. Usually you don't expect to be.
Goes in. There's a fight over the scuttle. I'm not 100% sure who smoked that second. We'll see when we see the color. It is Pot getting the crab.
Yeah, I thought the crab went over to DK. But DK didn't have his smite available, in fact, so Pot
that would be why.
Easily smiting that one away.
Yep.
So a little bit of a more conservative start. DK trying to make stuff happen, but in the end not too successful. It isn't the end of the world for DBL. They have the counter matchup in the jungle, so they don't actually have to snowball the Rek'Sai to win this game. It's all about Null, as we pointed out earlier. So just take some time. We'll probably hit a few lull states in this game. It's not as aggressive as the first series was.
Yeah, absolutely. We also, as we were saying earlier, which just stands to emphasize it, the DBL was a team that we did see a less VCS style game where they didn't feel the need to fight every 10 seconds. And they didn't have, 5k gold leads for either side at 15 minutes. It was much more reserved. I imagine they'll play like that again. Their comp suits that. They'd love to scale. Ornn, Ryze, Senna, love to play that mid and late game.
Yep. Well, the late game for FTV looks quite strong as well. We have Gangplank in the top lane, who is the late game Malice. And Rumble, not super great in the late game, but without anything to prevent the Rumble damage on the other side, it's not bad either. So, yep. Looking quite strong on either side. It really depends on the state of Null in this game, and Null has started the game off very well. He's actually winning lane against a matchup that he shouldn't win this early on. Now to comfortable tier, with the boots as well, so should just be able to farm and extend his CS lead more and more.
Yep, absolutely, which is obviously fantastic. DK return ganking in the mid lane. The flash forward here from Null will get the knock up, but Pot is here to protect, as is the Pyke. DK in so much trouble. The cannon barrage committed as well, but first blood is secured for Kuroko.
Yeah, never mind playing slowly. We are still in the VCS. Even this is DBL plays a little bit ill-advised. They have flash from Null, very aggressive. Victory didn't have a slash available, obviously, but not enough damage there to turn the fight. Also, good roam timing for Kuroko, who didn't actually have to invest anything to get the first kill. Maybe not the ideal target, but you like to have a little bit extra gold on your Pyke as well.
Yeah, I think it needed to be called that, hey, Pyke is not here. Because it's super obvious that he was going to be roaming. He'd gone back, gotten the Moby boots. I think it was actually pretty obvious that he was going to be near the mid lane and that it was a really bad time to go for a play that aggressive. But we'll have to see how DBL fights back into this one. Fortunately for them, it's going to be really hard for H3 to match the roaming of a Pyke.
Yeah, it is. So this is an interesting approach to the Braum pick. Usually there are three different things you can do. You can handshake Braum with another tank support and just say, okay, you have the defensive tank support, I have the aggressive tank support, let's see who can play better. You can go the LS special and go with a mage and actually abuse him in lane. Maybe we have seen a little bit of Bard especially to do that. One Rumble bot lane, a Rumble support was there as well. As we see a little bit of setup, shouldn't
there is the equalizer, but there is a ward to spot him. Pun just walks away.
And I like this. Too much. This approach from Kuroko is interesting as well, because this is neither different choice. It's the heavy roam choice, because Braum on his own can't really hard win lane or pressure dives with a 2v2, especially not paired with a Senna. Maybe an illusion matchup, he wouldn't be too comfortable leaving police to his own devices in the bot lane. But here, the Aphelios should just be fine farming. So you can free up your Pyke to roam to the mid lane, as we have seen already. He's not even level 6 yet, so the next big roam should come in soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is looking for the vision now. DK has pulled the dragon as Kuriko just slinks around the back there and rolls over the wall. This could be a Mountain Drake picked up for DBL. I don't think FTV wants to fight this. No, they don't. 4 people in the pit. Give up the Mountain Drake. No big deal. And again, we've gone back to a little bit of a slowdown. Good job, Big Koro, picking up those souls. Proud of you. Yeah, it slowed right back down after that initial little burst of speed.
Yep. And the onus is on FTV, especially on victory makes they want. So talked about before. It's not necessary for them to accelerate the game, but they could if they wanted to. So I'd like to see a little bit of Rumble roaming around the map, maybe setting up a bot lane dive with Pike hitting level 6 soon. Could go very heavy snowball towards bot side. Could also try to dive Pan in the top lane. Not easy though, especially not with a Gangplank. So would probably not like to see that as much.
I agree.
Let's see.
Yeah, I agree. Again, both teams, I think, can sort of just chill out until there's an objective worth fighting over. FTV has a very strong team fighting comp, but we could have
DK
something.
is still level 5.
Yeah, DK is
He's
having a
level 5.
really, really bad time.
What is going on?
He's just he's not clearing his camps. Now he's been spotted by Victory. He's on the red carpet, has to flash. DK is having an absolutely disastrous debut.
Yeah. Pot should just perma-invade him. Okay, DK is now...
I mean, he's still level 5.
That's a good call. He needs level 6. Yeah, there we go. As you said, disastrous first game for DK, who has once again had to invest his flash to get away. So not a flash knock-up available either now. This Rek'Sai will not get any more useful later on, so it's already looking grim for DK. He has to rely on Null carrying him in the first game he's ever played for this team.
Yeah, that he does. Definitely not a good situation. Have to see how strong his mentality is. Really, really bad time. Kuriko lurking around this mid lane. Actually see the lane swap coming in after the Rift Herald has died. This seems interesting. I mean, interesting is one word.
Yeah.
Kind of bad is another. Because now your bot lane is very far away to potentially contest the next objective, which is Dragon. Now, you don't have to contest an early Infernal Drake. But why swap up top?
Why wouldn't you? Yeah. It's a strange call. They want to get away from the... Potentially to actually lock the Pike in lane. Because what you forced with this swap... Now, Braum doesn't want to be away from the right? So you can just 2v1 and you will get a few incremental advantages, a few turret platings. So if the enemy team wants to do the same, they have to also invest time for the Pike. So the Pike now has to choose. Does he want to let the Aphelios lane 1v1 against Pan and not do anything in lane? Which can be an option. You lose a little bit of gold compared to the Senna, because the Aphelios will not get any turret platings.
If Terrell being summoned up here, a little bit risky. Could potentially... won't miss the charge, of course, and it will be solo gold for Aphelios, assuming he's in range, which I'm pretty sure he was.
Good adaptation from bot.
Yeah, well done.
I like this a lot, especially because Police got a lot of solo experience. Kuriko is 6, doesn't really need too many more levels. 6 is the most crucial level there for Pike. Afterwards, he pretty much just needs levels for HP and a little bit of AD as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ult, the most important spell in the kit, is now unlocked, and I'd like to see a little bit more roaming for Kuriko. Maybe try set up a gank on Null, or at least force the flash, because Null is a little bit too comfortable in this game. He's already sitting on the first completed item, which is the Rod of Ages, so very much going for a scaling build.
To the surprise of absolutely no one, that he's going a scaling build. If he had pulled out the Doinby special, I think we would have been very upset with him in this particular setup.
He needs that.
And speaking of damage, does do a little bit onto Kuriko. Not really the target you want to be putting little chunks into. It is Pike. He heals a lot of that back up. There's a lot of people around this mid lane. The hook is onto H3 here. Is it Hugh? I don't know.
I think it's High.
Yeah, it's high.
His name
that's
was
right.
High before
Yeah.
you changed to H3, so I think
Alright.
it's pronounced High, probably.
Yep, well, it is now, as Kuriko gets a little bit caught out there, but does roll away. DK still struggling to get anything done on this Rek'Sai, which is a little bit of a disaster.
Yeah, and once again, Null looking for... Once again invested his flash as well. So now an opportunity for Pot to look for a kick flash, maybe to punish the enemy Rise. As I said before, I think you need to get a little bit of an advantage for victory here, or at least set Null behind. Null is a little bit too good into the game. He's almost level 11. So first big power spike coming in for the Rise very soon. This might just be a very slow grind out for DBL, where they play around dragons, get Null to level 16, get one big team fight and win the game. Very
Yeah, quite
LCK
potentially.
style of play.
Yeah, those are some cursed words to say on a VCS broadcast. We don't like to see LCK style play.
Yeah, the last time I said it, we immediately had a kill.
Oh, here we go. The Realm Warp's coming in. Pot getting contested here, fails the flash, but does ward hop anyway. And gets the dragon.
The dragon. Very important. This was actually a very good dragon sneak from the FTV side. Delays the potential... Well, the soul. They didn't know it would be Ocean. Now it's even better with the spawning. Because I think DBL has an easier time fighting around this dragon later on in the game. Right now, with the victory not level 11, they didn't want to... FTV, that is, didn't want to fight either. Next dragon, I think FTV has a better spot in the game, or is stronger in the game, with the Rise still needing to scale, while the opposing mid laner, which is Rumble, is right in its best spot, level 11, first item completed. So this might now just turn into a little bit of a dragon snowball for FTV.
Yeah, it definitely could. One thing we haven't been commenting on is this bot lane. I mean, we haven't been commenting on it for a reason. Mostly it's just been a 1v1 absolute farm fest. Who do you think that favours if we do have that grindy style? Obviously, Senna and Aphelios both very strong. But who do you think, team comp-wise, who do you think is going to be able to have more of an impact?
I actually want to talk about this more player-wise than champion-wise. Because as you said, as you said, Senna and Aphelios can both be late-game monsters. But I think it actually favors FTV and Police especially here, because Police so far this season has struggled to get out of laning phase. He was behind in CS. His new support synergy has not been too great, and in fact, they are replacing his support already. So it's great to see him being even in CS, and I think this is the best possible setup for FTV, because we know Police can carry late game fights, and Aphelios can do it too. So it's the best champion player combination you can dream of for FTV.
Also, something not 100% related, but is related to the bot lane, is Pyke actually pretty good against Senna ult? Because Senna ult doesn't actually give health, it gives shields. And obviously Pyke goes straight through those, so harder to have those clutch Senna ults that save you. Of course, it still does a fair bit of damage, so it can definitely still turn a fight around. But just a little interaction here as the Ornn Horn has been blown, mostly just to buy space there for High to get out and for the Rift Herald to be dropped. Unfortunately, of course, it is Shirley, so she will not be getting any plates. Definitely the less popular sibling. As comes down the equalizer, nothing gotten off it, just was zoning.
Yeah, and this game will be very hard. It will be very hard here, because there's a lot of gold being built up for FTV, for also Cole purchased for him. Nice. Actually, Elaine, he can do that.
Yeah, I actually think it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. And on the other side, we have Ornn. So Ornn items will come in soon, which means a gold lead will look a little bit weird, and DBL will have more effective stats than the gold lead will show. So this is a very hard game to talk about gold leads, and we should just look at the items.
Yeah. So, on the topic of items, what ornaments would you like to see built up? Not for Ornn himself, because I think that's pretty standard, but for the other players on the team.
It's a weird team composition to build Ornn items. Rise doesn't really have the greatest Ornn item setup. For Ornn Zhonya's, you could later on. Would be a very late ornament, though. Senna, the same goes for Senna, kind of. I'd really like to see some Sennas finally go Ghostblade when they have the on in their team, because Ghostblade upgrade is actually great. It gives you more lethality. It's the only item that can, the only on item that can give you more lethality, and there's no other way in the game to get more lethality. So I think actually Ghostblade first item could be an option here for Senna, even though most Sennas like to go towards Ductar. Other than that, Molten Age is always good, but most Sennas don't want to go for Molten Edge this early. So the IE, they want to wait.
To the point where we've seen a Molten Edge sold.
Oh no! Oh.
And no on item grabbed. I think that was definitely a mistake. I agree. I'd love to see the Yomus. Null, I think, will go towards the Death Cap at some point. Might be a little bit late. He might get his last. Because that is quite the late.
I mean, you could actually make an argument for third item Rabadon's here and just overpower the pure damage on all side. You have a lot of peel, right? You have a lot of setup. So just getting straight damage could actually be an option here for Null. Loses out on the cooldown reduction a little bit, but with his runes, oh no, he actually does not run the Transcendence rune, so he's only sitting on 20% cooldown reduction, which is not great for the Rise. You'd want to go to 40.
So, speaking of runes, what do you think of Null running Conqueror this game?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've spotted that earlier. We've not seen too many Conquerors. Yeah, once in the mid lane fight, because he got the stacks. More damage, right? Conqueror is just more damage, more healing as well.
Does he not need the safety, though, considering he is basically going to be trying to carry? Seems very risky as the mid lane falls.
Apparently, he says he doesn't need it. Oh, the Equalize in the wrong direction.
And the down comes the gangplank. Oh, Big Koro taking a lot of damage. Will get kicked here. Does have the Dawning Shadow if his team needs it, and they do. But DK will start this fight off. Pot is dead. Really, really good recovery here from DBL. Go get those Center Souls. You don't need to recall.
Yeah, it's always sad to see. Ductar came in as well. Dark Blades. Not the early Yomus we wanted to see. But yeah, going back a little bit to the Conqueror, I think it's an interesting choice, but it can pay off. I don't think he needs the Conqueror for extra damage. But as we just saw in the last team fight, it's quite easy for DBL to not die immediately. And then the Conqueror can actually pay dividends as well. So,
Rika, very caught out here. Flashes away from his own towers. Does get the barrel speed, but in the end, down he goes. Pun gets the kill as well. I like that. This Rek'Sai is pretty unrecoverably behind. Actually, he's not too far behind Pot now. He's come back. But it's still a Rek'Sai.
Yeah, it's good. Just use the Rek'Sai to get a little bit more gold. And now the first on item has been built for on himself. He can upgrade one item, but no one has an item. Very sad, a blacksmith. Right now, we need to wait for more items. As we can see, this not very... Oh, no, it's actually the mid fight. That was more interesting. Good flash from Bikoro. High also with a good peel there. Glacial Fissure to prevent the follow-up damage.
And now, shield.
The shield was in the wrong direction. But Null wasn't there. So this was an opportunity without the strongest point of the comp, and they didn't even get the kill. So not a good sign for FTV's late game chances here. I think we are firmly moving towards DBL being the favorite, in this game.
Yeah, I think we definitely are. DK taking a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't pull the trigger on the death from below there.
So far, Pike has been absolutely unimpactful. He got one kill steal in the mid lane, and that's all.
And he didn't really set the play up.
Nope.
This Pike has done absolutely nothing. A little bit concerning.
Very concerning.
Like, Kuriko, I mean, not so much just for this game. Kuriko's been brought in, we assume, because they need the shot calling. Because, again, that man has literally played every role on this team except ADC. Maybe he doesn't have the greatest support pool. Concerning, to say, like, really not good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Tiger hasn't looked too great, especially in the struggles. So it's okay to bring in Kuriko, and sometimes we just see not the greatest of support players just being put support, because that's the easiest way to still have their shot calling.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the pike, you also need to shot call a little bit differently on the pike, right? You need to look for plays. It's not the classic, like on Braum, put Kirk on Braum, and he can just stay behind, like, use his abilities to peel and concentrate on shot calling and vision control. But to be effective on pike, you need to look for flanks. You need to look for the big plays, for the picks as well. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different.
Basically, the way I like to think about it is you only have 100% to give. And if shot calling takes up 20% of your brain, that means you only have 80% to actually play the game, and you should play a champion that only requires 80% of your brain, like Braum.
Yep.
Pike is pretty much going to take 100. He is pretty mechanically, as you said, positioning's important, mechanics are important. I'd like, if this is the situation, Aphelios, it was a Severum ult as well. You were full health, police. That was horrible.
That was such a useless ult as well. Even if it hit, it was the red.
Yeah,
whatever.
It was Severum. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything.
He was full health and he would have gained 200 health. Congrats.
So not quite as bad as Reckless's ult today.
Just flaming Reckless across the world. Why not? You've got to love
he
it.
flamed himself for the game, so I'm not the first one to flame.
Reckless has gotten better with accepting some flame. He used to cop a lot. But it is the Ocean Drake being taken up. This one's actually really important, as we actually missed the last one going down.
If FTV loses this fight, I think the game is...
Yeah, this is Soul Point. Decent equalizer. High has to stand in it.
Fissure.
Horrible Glacial Fissure there. Pot now has control of the Dragon, but the Autohorn hits 3, as does the Center ult, doing so much. But the Dragon is secured. DK comes out of the ult, but it is on to the Zhonya's target. DK running away. The Death from Below actually just completely misses. And then he has the fancy feat. Nobody dies, but Ocean Drake is secured by FTV.
Yeah, they wanted to accelerate the game a little bit more, wanted to get more kills, but in the end it's still okay. The most important objective was the Ocean Drake, and if they can also get the Baron here, it's Realm Warp though.
There's the Realm Warp. I think that's just used to scout. Of course, it does give vision, which is what it does.
Yeah, a little bit of a damage check, as we've seen so many times now. I think FTV doesn't have the damage to finish the Baron themselves, so still need a little bit of time. A few more items on Aphelios to really go for the Baron rush.
Yep, but we do. Again, this is one of the slowest games we've ever had in the VCS. So, what have you been up to, Yulwei? How's your life going?
Yeah, you asked me a week ago if I saw any right now, and I actually got around to see Knives Out. Did you see Knives Out yet?
Which one's? Knives Out. No, I haven't seen it. Is it worth the watch?
I expected more, I have to say. I was quite disappointed. Maybe I went into the wrong expectations, but I expected very much like the Agatha Christie, very cool the detective story with very interesting setups. But it was more on the fun side of things, like a little bit of a comedy mixed in there.
Yeah, definitely
wasn't quite for me.
Fair enough. Have you seen I assume you haven't seen all of them, but have you looked at the Best Picture nominations for the Oscars? I mean, who cares?
Did it happen this week?
The nominations are out. I don't think the actual Oscars have happened.
Yeah.
The only one of them I'd actually seen was Joker, which if Joker wins, it's a good.
Yeah.
Joker is not a good movie, but Joaquin Phoenix is an insanely good actor.
Oh.
It's literally Joaquin Phoenix the movie.
Maybe you can win an Oscar for.
He's nominated for Best Actor. Which he absolutely deserves to win, in my opinion.
I would really like to see Parasite win the movie award.
I think
would be very cool to see a Korean movie. Yeah, it's nominated. Yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't gotten around to seeing it. I really need to.
You should. You should.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm really bad. I'm always like, yeah, I'll go watch this movie, and then I open Netflix and be like, ooh, they have Baby Driver, a movie I've seen 4 times but still really enjoy. good movie.
Yeah, I'm still sad they didn't nominate one of the German movies that came out last year, which was I thought it was the best movie I saw the last year. It was very impactful, very gut wrenching, I'd say, or
What was
heart
it?
wrenching.
I didn't hear the name.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually translated or if there's an English version. It was a little bit of an indie movie, you could say. It's
Okay.
System it's
Well, what
System
is it? What
Breakers,
is
you
it?
could say.
What is it in German? Just say it in German.
Systemsprenger, so
Right.
System Breakers, you could say, probably.
Okay.
And it's about children who can't fit into any social setup. So not they can't fit in their family. And it's with a great child actress who's incredible. She's like 9, and
Wow.
her act is incredible. So it's very impactful.
Fair enough. I might have to. I mean, if there's a decent version with subtitles, I'll definitely have to give that a watch. I like
give that a watch.
I like German language movies. I haven't watched that many German language movies. I watched I don't know what it was. I watched a TV show a while ago. It was like a crime drama. It was really good in German. Maybe I wouldn't remember.
Dark
the name
was
off the
super
top.
famous now.
Yeah, I think it might have been Dark, but yeah, it was really, really good. Obviously in German, but we do potentially have something happening on screen here as we are
What?
just podcasting. Absolutely unbelievable. As Rika is trying to go for the execute. I actually don't.
Yeah.
I don't know
Why
if
are
anyone's
you?
hit him. He got the tower. He pushed the tower in. Now he's just looking for the execute.
After with a good call to go for 4v5 Baron.
Yeah, this
But
is
DK
smart.
is here to seal it.
Rika is still alive. Rika's getting out. DK could cut him off. Rika is running.
They still don't have damage.
Oh no,
Rika's so
Norl is
fast.
completely caught. He doesn't have a Realm Warp to potentially escape, but does have a Flash. Pun going in. Center Alt comes in to give him a bit of a shield, but didn't do any damage. But now they come forward in Spooky Ghost phase. Ooh,
it's
DK
on.
taking so much damage though. And can he get anything done? He flashes away from the death from below, so no resets going. FTV in a really bad
Rika's
position
arrived.
here. And Police throws out that Infernal Ult, not doing enough damage. You're right, Rika has arrived, but High lands the slow. Can they get the concussive blows? Yes, they can. Senna will claim that kill. And we finally had something happen, and 2 members of FTV are dead. Could have a third if Pot does get caught. He's Lee Sin, he's a bit tricky. Don't lead them to your teammate, whatever you do. But he uses the stopwatch. Bit of a waste, honestly.
What? No. Oh, nice Senna W. Whose name we still don't know.
I think it's like Grasping Mist or something. DK has to smite really early on this Baron just to not die.
They
Victory
started
is
the Baron
here.
a little early.
Yeah.
Come on. DBL? Come on.
Victory
What's
is
going on?
here. Doesn't have the equalizer. The Ornhorn is blown. DK's dead instantly, but Victory will be following him to the grave. No smite. Baron going low, and DBL doesn't want to disengage from it. There could be some big boy barrels, but it's not going to happen, and DBL will claim the Baron.
There we go.
But here comes the Gangplank ult, and oh no, Pun went into the stopwatch. You can no longer bubble Hearth out of there, and he will be the sacrificial lamb.
So I sadly can't comment on anything.
Oh,
'cause,
is your stream crashed? Oh no.
Yeah, my stream is struggling once again.
Oh dear.
Um,
I will say, very, very big thank you to VOTV. Have massively improved the stream quality.
Yeah, shout out to them. Great stream this week.
Yeah.
We're so glad they fixed their stream.
Yeah,
Because
they did
last
have-
week was hard to watch.
Yeah, they did. There is a representative from there in our Discord who said they were trying something new, and whenever it's done, it's definitely worked. But FTV on the backside there lost Baron, but picked up the 3rd Drake and are now threatening Ocean Point. Pretty important, honestly.
Yeah.
Now that our lull's finally broken, let's hope we don't go back into it.
And there's still another game to be played, so
True.
we'll get back to podcast land if DBL is.
I haven't watched that much stuff recently.
Unfortunate. We can go into solo queue adventure.
Oh my word! I've been playing Legends of Runeterra. Good game.
Here we go. Police now finished 3 items. Can can he potentially carry this one for FTV? FTV is, by the way, is still ahead in gold, but as I alluded to earlier, gold doesn't actually say a whole lot this game. Also, have to shout out Biko for his horrible item build. Once again, no on item. Please build on items.
This is a huge waste if you don't get an ornament. It just doesn't make sense. Why not? It's like 1,000 gold. He just slips it into your back pocket. And we do have a bit of a fight coming in. DK does get shielded up, manages to tunnel away. Kuriko wants the death from below, but it's avoided again. He's gotten every death from below avoided, but FTV regardless, winning this fight pretty hard, taking down DK and Null.
Yeah, big shutdown over to Police, who's working on his last crit item, hopefully. Hopefully no GA comes.
Oh, he does have a
also 2 crit items for Rika. Yeah, I know. Rika is looking pretty strong as well. So there for sure is still potential for FTV to win this game, especially if they can secure the Ocean Soul. Suddenly, the game actually looks like FTV favored. If they can secure Ocean Soul for sure. I mean, there's still so much gold in the on items that have not come in for the side of DBL. So once they finish the on items, they suddenly are 5-6k gold ahead in effective stats. Especially now, there is a potential on upgrade for not sure if they want to go for it. If they go for the Zhonya's upgrade, they can't go for the Rabadon's upgrade, but they might just do it anyway. Yeah, there it is. Just because it's good for fights as well. You get AP, you get armor, so.
Yep, I think, just by the way, I think you are a few seconds ahead of me if you just want a moment. Because your stream did die. So but Kuriko here, potentially catching on to DK. This Pike has looked so bad. It's 2-1, but it hasn't looked good. He's kind of just grubbed a few kills. The ults have not... I don't think his ult has dealt damage this game.
Yeah, I've not even seen an ult from
I've seen them, but every single one has either missed or been mitigated. Through something like
I'd really like to see Bikora's soul count, but we have another fight. Police is caught.
Here comes the Realm Warp. They're flying forward. Police is caught. The Ornhorn is blown. Should be an easy finish. He goes into the GA as that was what he built.
Yeah.
And
once
down
again,
he goes.
Great item.
Yep, GA really made a difference there. Not a good
DBL
item,
might
guys.
win this game with a gold deficit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is it really a gold deficit when you have Ornn?
It is not. Effectively, it's not a gold deficit, but if you look at the gold over there, it's in fact still is. But yeah, technically it's not. Because Kuriko, also the gold on Kuriko is just wasted. It's like 10k gold on the, let's say 8k gold on the support. That's not doing anything.
They're charging forward here. Has been hit by the center W. Look at the damage. We need to click on Police and see... Big Koro and see his soul count. Not sure why we're clicking onto a Rek'Sai at the moment. Particularly relevant, as they are looking to push in. Still 10 seconds on Police. See what they can do. Rika just absolutely explodes. I forgot there was a gangplank in the game, if I'm totally honest. He did very, very little other than that big ol' wild goose chase. In comes the Infernum ult, but it's not going to do anything, as Big Koro pads his stats. And DBL wins game 1. A slow one, a grindy one, but a win all the same.
This is such a different look from the first series. I think DBL is probably... This looks straight like PCS. I hope Winnie will agree with me.
Don't upset Vinny by mentioning his baby that's gone. As we will get Vinny back in just a sort out production. But here we go.
First of all, how dare you? LMS was a million times cleaner than that.
Wasn't that unclean? I mean, they lost
I don't think that was particular
dragon fights, but DBL, I think, was never in a situation where they...
Baron?
Yeah, the Baron was a bit iffy.
Yeah, did we watch that same Baron?
Okay, but it's VCS. You've got to give them one. You got to give them one screw up. It's the VCS. They don't always turn the brain machines on.
Do we give the MVP to the coaching DBL for drafting this team composition?
Almost have to. I mean, genuinely,
it's like.
I mean,
who is MVP for this game? I mean,
not DK.
I can tell you who it was. Yeah,
not DK. He had a pretty horrific game.
Maybe you can eliminate one after the other and conclude who the MVP
I'm going to
is.
give it to Pun for
actually-
providing more gold to the team.
Yeah,
unironically, he had some really good Ornolts.
I think the center play was very solid as well.
I think I'm leaning towards Big Koro though. He had some really good ults. He was doing a lot of damage. Yeah,
very safe positioning as well. Didn't die in the crucial
Big
fight.
Koro probably deserves it.
We locked that one in with both the brains and me agreeing.
If we could give points for MVP, like not one MVP point game, but points for how impactful the MVP was, this was on the lower end. This was like 10 points, while Heejin's game before was like 100 points. This was just a team effort.
It was a team effort. It was a coaching effort. It looked like they'd scrimmed that kind of game. It was very not VCS. I mean, FTV didn't really know what to do, it seemed.
Yeah. Very slow game.
But yeah, what would we like... I mean, we'll talk about the next game before we get into it, but what were some of the key picks here for DBL in that win? Obviously, the center looked really good. Do we want to see something different in the top lane, or was Ornn... Were we happy with Ornn?
Yeah.
Ornn's a good pick. Like, if the comp calls for it, absolutely go ahead and pick something else. You don't have to pick Ornn every time, but he was absolutely played absolutely fine on it.
Maybe a different jungler, put him on a tank.
Maybe a different player.
Maybe a different jungler.
Get his Meliodas. Meliodas' J4 is actually super solid. So
yeah, don't put him on Lee Sin, and Meliodas is a pretty good player.
This Meliodas guy, he might be able to win VCS at some point. Who knows if you give him the right team?
Like once or twice or something.
Yeah, this rookie might be able to come in and carry you to a victory. But we
might
will
be able to, take some games off the MSI finalists. MSI winners, even.
Maybe. Fongvu flashbacks. Vietnam, very good at inspiring flashbacks. But we will go to a little break now, about 6 minutes. Hope to see you guys with us to watch Game 2 to see if DBL can close this one out, or will FTV fight back. We'll see you soon, guys. Hope you stay tuned in. As I should unmute my mic before I start turning. Welcome back. We are here for Game 2 of DBL taking on FTV. DBL claiming a Game 1 in a very non-VCS style. What do we think will need to change up for FTV in Game 2? Can they pick something just to bring the VCS back to them? Or do you think they have to go with this DBL style? Ooh, I've just realised I am still deaf and... Wait, why can't I hear people? Hello, friends. Uh-oh. We'll just skip there. I'm not deafened, but I cannot hear people. Hello. Oh dear, this isn't ideal. Hello, my friends? Ah, you're back! Hello! Welcome back, my friends! I can hear you! But I don't know, could you hear me? Okay, my questions stand. My questions then do stand. What do we think FTV has to do to get back into this series? Wait, now stream can't hear you. What? Oh my god, apparently stream can't hear you. We are in champ select. We'll just show that and I'll talk while I'm trying to fix this. It is Gragas and Set being removed. Can you talk, guys? Can I hear you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, now we should be okay now. Yeah, we are. And
Alright.
sorry about that, guys. I don't know, my headset screwed up.
Exploded or something.
Yeah, we didn't miss anything.
Yep. Feel free to catch us
No.
up, my friends. I think the stream can do with me being quiet for a little bit.
So Pawn and DK still in, especially for DK. That's quite surprising, but maybe
What?
Dash and Buffalo just wants. Maybe Malirus is not feeling too well today. That could be possible as well. We have interesting bans on the blue side. 2 jungle bans and Lucian. And Aphelios is still open. Akali is open as well, yeah. There we go.
It's locked in.
Good call,
Brilliant.
good call. I always forget about Akali because I assume that
It's perma-banned.
Yeah. It is just something we
Oh.
always... Ooh. Zaya first pick. Insta-lock.
So they tried the Aphelios last game, didn't work out. So Police back to one of his 2009 special.
And last week, I'm pretty sure they didn't touch Misfortune either. So
Yeah, you are in fact correct. He's played Lucian, Kaiser, and Senna. Now Aphelios twice. Now Aphelios as well.
Yep.
So,
And
yep,
we get
no MF.
the best pick in the VCS as Jace
So
is
it seems
locked
like we're trying to go for red, yellow colors.
in. Yep.
So-
I mean, I still think the most aesthetically pleasing way to play is you pick Set Zyra Khan.
Yeah,
Very
that's true.
aesthetically pleasing.
But
And-
if you look at
and
blue
then
side,
one
just
pick
pack
in
it up.
there as
Board.
well.
Look at this comp. This comp is already won. You don't actually need to play the game.
yeah,
Akali Aphelios J4, like seriously.
This
I
is
was
so
going to say coming
overpowered.
into this, I think the way FTV gets a game is to pick hard in 5v5, hard engage, pick your own, pick your Nautilus, and just go ham. This is not that, and that's essentially a blind Jace pick. You can
Into Akali.
assume it's going into the Akali, but Akali can go mid.
She can,
Yep.
yeah.
Um,
I expect her to be in Pan's hands, I have to say, and even then, Jace into Akali. I mean, it's okay in lane, right? Jace can bully Akali a bit, but he can never look for a solo kill.
no, definitely not.
Apologies.
Yeah. As Braum will be removed, as is Rise.
I like the idea of moving
Support pinch.
of the mid lane pinch, actually. Because
But you don't
Victory's-
have first pick in mid lane. That's
yeah.
so that's indicating Akali mid
actually
lane.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting. So Syndra is still open, right? We could just go Syndra mid lane here. Syndra is not bad into Akali either. Like it's a normal matchup.
Yep.
I don't see a reason not to pick Syndra in this spot.
Olaf is the jungle.
Okay then.
Okie dokie.
Olaf jungle.
FTV wants an early night.
Yeah, they really do. Exactly, they play against DBL, not GAM. So DBL will take.
Yeah, DBL will take 40
Cut.
minutes to close it out.
And
And
no longer CC Olaf as he runs down mid.
Nice.
exactly.
Rumble pick.
Rumble, I don't think is a bad pick. And this time
No,
pinch
it's
as
a good
well
pick.
makes a lot of sense.
This is just a really good comp, top to bottom.
Yeah, it's just great.
Fenrir did. It's very good. It's nothing was contested.
I think,
It's
yeah,
also
when
the
you're
classic
basically
J4 Rumble.
you're playing a blind pick comp.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, like, what is this draft from FTV? That's a
It's
Jace.
perfect.
Wait,
That's
that's
Jace mid.
mid.
The Rumble.
That's interesting. Okay, so the famous Jace flex, right? Oh, about Jace flex on uses the Jace flex all the time in all the leagues. No, of course that's not true. Very weird drafting choices here
No
from
one picks
FTV.
Jace. No one picks Jace.
Yeah, there's a
It's
reason
so
for that.
bad.
It's bad.
It's terrible.
It's
Like
just
looking
not
at
a good
FTV's
pick.
comp, you're like, Ornn, okay, cool.
Ornn,
Olaf,
nice.
yeah, good so far. What? Okay.
Oh my word. These are some interesting picks
Even-
from FTV. How do they make it
Even the
work,
bot
though?
lane isn't bad. Even the bot lane isn't too bad picks. It's just the order it was picked that makes
indeed, indeed.
it weird.
You just look at the odd lane, you're like, okay, that's a. that everything was up for grabs at the beginning of the draft, that's actually not a fine bot lane.
Like Xayah Jace first rotation.
It's just Xayah Jace. That has to take the
terrible.
cake for worst draft of all time.
I mean, we saw some pretty bad ones from Flash last week.
First rotation, worst first rotation.
Yeah, and not only did they do that, they left Akali up on 10-2.
Yeah.
So this is Pun's time to shine. He had a great game on. It's a good setup for a rookie.
It is.
I'll still count him as a rookie because he has only played 2 games. I think you need to play 3 games to be officially not eligible to be a rookie anymore. So yeah, he's a rookie. Also, I think.
God, the VCS bloods them fast.
I would have definitely preferred to see Ornn mid with what they have.
Yeah,
I would have actually liked to see Ornn mid for DBL here instead of the Rumble. I would have really liked to see.
I don't think Rumble's bad though.
Nah, it's not bad.
No. Good pick. But it would have. Ornn might have been better. I don't know.
Like the Rumble gives you extra damage. Okay. VCS coaches and referees are very rough, it seems. They just snatched that one straight from Police's head and like, give it to me. I'll fix it.
The VCS is harsh.
Yeah,
Like,
it really is.
It really is
Pauses.
harsh.
Excuse me, my mid laner has picked Jace.
Yeah, like, I think the referees might be behind the stage as the FTV owner is trying. They have to hold him back from beating the coach to death. Just, why have you picked Jace? You first rotation, Jace. Oh my god.
So there seems to be a small little issue with Police's headset, which is not bad because now Winnie can talk from.
Yeah, exactly. We will go back to our beautiful.
I don't want to
train.
talk about this.
Come on, Vinny. What do you think about this comp? Come on, give us the way that FTV can take the win. How do they do it?
All right. 1-3-1, which is a foreign concept, especially for a bottom tier team like this. But if the Jace can get off to a lead at all, you can try and snowball through Jace. Ornn just has to match the other person. You're in a good position where you can just rush MR because both of the side laners you'll be up against are MR.
Yeah.
Are magic damage. So Ornn will be fine in a side lane. If just focus on getting your Jace snowball going, put a Jace into your side lane. 1-3-1. That's your best way to do. That's your best way to play this comp out.
So
what does Jace do? Go ahead, Yulwei. I'm just teasing Vinny. Go ahead, Yulwei.
Yeah. Let's try to get to a number. How much gold do FTV need to be ahead of DBL at, say, 25 minutes to win this game?
20,000 gold.
Okay.
They'll win if they're 20,000 gold up.
What's the lowest?
You could get away with maybe 2,000 if it's entirely located on the Jace. If everyone else is even, but Jace is 2,000 gold ahead of Rumble in this case, you could get away with it.
I think with the on items, I think with 5,000 you actually look winner, especially with Xayah as well. The Xayah scales well with on items, so you not only have the Jace but also the Xayah for late game. So I think it's 2k is pretty low, but yeah, maybe with 2k already.
I think
something between
can I throw in a
number.
second factor? Am I allowed to be a bit sneaky? 3k and an Ocean Rift.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Because mid-game fighting, if they get the first 2 Drakes, because they have a pretty good early game, they could potentially take the first 2 shitty Drakes. We then get an Ocean Rift, and they can just take 2, and then you can...
That's a good call.
You could have 5 Teemos, and you still probably win with Ocean Rift.
Also, this would be... They can actually make use souls. Cloud Soul would be great for Jace and Xayah. Infernal Soul is super good for poke champs. Okay, Mountain Soul is useless for them, but who cares?
Ornn likes it.
Ornn likes it,
Mountain Soul is...
Mountain Soul is always okay.
It's weak, but you never not happy.
I
to
mean,
have a shield.
you're never not
course.
happy to have a soul.
It's just not exciting, right? I still maintain
Yeah.
Mountain Soul is not a bad thing.
No, of course
It's-
not.
And it gives you a good spike in win rate, I would guess as well. So
Yeah, probably. But
probably the least favorite soul though for FTV's team composition.
But with the tech issues resolved, we want to say, once again, our heart bleeds, but we say goodbye to Mr. Vinny to see if FTV can possibly get us to a Game 3, take us to a 6-game night, or if DBL will be able to close this one out with some strong picks, to say the least.
6-game night would be quite something, because
Would
we
be.
both expected today to be a 4-day game.
Yep.
We thought both would be stomps, but very delighted to see Flash fight back. I don't really expect anything for FTV here, but maybe they can surprise us as well.
Yeah, very possible. I'd love to see them pull this off. It would be a very impressive situation, but
And interestingly enough, FTV is actually a little bit of the kryptonite for DBL, at least in summer they were. They won both series against DBL, and those two wins were crucial at getting out of relegation.
it's true. They did dodge relegation pretty much just by beating DBL. So see if they can keep the trend up as high. It's a little bit of a lick onto Kuriko, but it will be a pretty standard vertical jungling start, as Olap has started at the blue side red buff. But DK will go over there, is spotted, so everyone is aware of what's going on here.
So
Have to
very
see.
clear vertical jungling. Olaf immediately beeline for the blue buff, so everything in line here should not get off to too big of a lead for either side.
Victory
Quicker.
having a poke over, seeing if he can get anything done, but doesn't in the end.
So Jace is a little bit of a mystery because Jace is a very feels good champ, right? If Jace, it just feels good to lane with Jace. You always want to make Jace work as a pro player because you know if the Jace is also good from ahead, so you feel very good winning with Jace because you know you actually did something here.
Yep.
It's a better feeling than playing on for most players, and just sitting there and be like, okay, we'll win the game later on. To do anything myself. Some people like to do that as well. But yeah, Jace just feels very good to use. He's very weak though, so yeah.
Yeah, I think he is super weak at the moment. He's going to get shoved in pretty hard by Null as well. So
And not the biggest fan of him not trying to go for trades. I think he needs to make use of his lot of sustain he went for in Rune, as well as item setups to get priority over this lane. Because if you just let the Rumble shove in and get a cheater recall off, you're not in a good spot.
Hook is thrown, doesn't land though. Ooh, Kuriko really wants that soul, but couldn't quite get close enough to suck that into his lantern.
Could have gotten that soul, but he wanted to go for the hook and then missed his timing on the soul. A little bit sad to see. So we once again see lane in this matchup. Conqueror not as great into tanks anymore, of course, as it lost the true damage. So doesn't really matter what Akali goes for here. I have to say, 2 more souls. Kuroko, please go back.
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty important. It's kind of like Senna. Really does want to be picking those up. As they fade. And this mid lane, once again, this Jace pick looking questionable as he is currently a little bit behind Rumble. Definitely not getting lane prio as we might want to see out of the early game champ.
Yeah, and we've basically seen the same last game as well. Null had the matchup where Rise in. He still was able to get lane control.
He's losing trades.
Lead as well.
This is
and
bad.
Now Null is dominating lane again.
Yeah.
So not the greatest signs for victory. He was one of the best players for FTV last week, which doesn't say a whole lot. But yeah, it's not good to see. Also, Null was the best player on DBL, so he's going up against one of the best mid laners.
A lot of damage.
So I think we should just rename this champ to Lot of Damage. right? Because that's always what we say about Akali.
Yeah, Akali does lots of damage.
Yes.
It's true. We can have Alodios and Akalios. Null has to flash away, but Victory is burning and he ends up going down. First
There we
blood
go.
secured.
Solo kill.
Jace doing exactly what it's meant to do, dying 1v1 to a Rumble.
Indeed. Yeah, that's exactly how Winnie pointed that FTV would win this game, right? So Jace falling behind, 2k gold. So perfect start for FTV.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. This Jace pick is still tilting everyone who
It's
likes to
so
think about
bad.
draft.
He has got the Dirk on his first back, so good back timing. He was just getting an accelerated recall.
Nice.
Instead of having to press B, you just die. And he even made Null use summoners for it.
Also, lets you get rid of the problem of having to, because that one will die to the tower. So good play from Victory. He didn't want to take those minions. He didn't want to collect to take his 8 seconds recall. So yeah, he just died. Nicely done.
Minions? Who needs those? What do they even do? Yeah, this Jace pick is already failing massively. As we get the replay here, this was barely even a 1v1. This was pretty much a 2v1. Pot was coming in, and DK didn't do anything, so...
I don't think Null even needed to flash there.
No, I don't think he did. But he did it for safety. Can't say I blame him.
No.
How does Jace do anything now?
Oh, come on. That is not a fair question to ask me.
No, it's not. It's not. You don't even... The answer can be, he doesn't.
I mean, there's always a way, right?
Yeah.
We say maybe there's about 3 kills and suddenly is on a finished first item and can dominate lane, but it looks very unlikely right now, especially with how the early game has gone. Now the matchup doesn't actually get that much better for Rumble now, but he has so much wave clear. So if Rumble ever notices that he's falling behind in terms of traits, he just goes back to his turret, uses all his wave clear, and Jace can't ever touch him. So it's
Pretty
not
much.
Through mid lane. It's definitely not through mid lane.
Here is the gank up to the top lane. A very interesting target to try and take down lots of damage as Pun ults and E's and is safe in the Shroud. Gets the ult, I guess. But
ult for ult trait. That's okay. A little bit less kill potential now for Pot.
Pot is found onto DK here, has to flash, but the Ragnarok is also burned.
Q misses.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad trade. Flash for Ragnarok. And he should be able to get Shelly because of the chunk.
Yeah, and Pot is not aware of how the BlastCon interaction works. Because he just stopped there. His ult was still running, and he stopped and waited until his ult wore off. But you can actually ult. You can actually use the BlastCon there. Yep. You just have to be careful. If an enemy champion uses BlastCon, that's CC, so that will get ignored.
But how often we've had to bring this up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but
it's such an edge case. And Null is just going in here, lays down the red carpet for Victory.
What's going on with equalizers
It might be... No, that was correct. That was the right way. He wanted to make sure Victory couldn't push onto him, and this is all gone wrong for FTV. We do not have the boring slow game that we had last time, as we already have a double kill for Akali.
There we go.
That was an Akali with no items.
The direction was wrong, right?
No, the direction was right. He didn't want Jace to be able to counter-engage onto him. I actually really like that equalizer.
Interesting.
But, I mean, we'll see the replay and maybe we can have a better look at it. In the end, regardless, it worked. Because that is...
4-0 seems to be something we see a lot. Was 4-0 in the last game that they lost. So, a little bit of hope for FTV.
So, I think my theory here... Yeah, I think that's right, because he dropped it onto Victory and made it so Pot can't run out of the pit, because it's in the...
But entrance. I think if he started at Victory and put it at the exactly 360 degrees... No. I think the angle was correct.
Okay.
But I think you needed to start on the bottom and then have the equalizer go up, so you get one more tick on Victory there.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point. I thought you were saying the angle.
Didn't matter.
It did.
The angle. I like the angle.
Fair enough. We were actually in agreement then. I agree with you then that one extra tick of damage would have been good. But
Caster
in the end,
backwards.
we are... I mean, again, you said the correct thing. I said the half correct thing because you're the color caster. Now it just makes you look
There we
smart.
go.
This is our dynamic. Obviously I was only being wrong to make you look smarter. I knew.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's the secret, by the way, people. Like usually the play-by-play doesn't actually need the color caster, but he's it would be hard on his voice
Exactly.
to cast.
Color
So
casters
he
are
has to make the
overrated.
color caster look smart. So there's actually reason for the color caster to be there. Because
Yeah, I mean, after all,
other than that, there's no reason.
I mean, after all, what you see you, have you seen your predictions?
Fair point. I'm going to.
I'm going to make this joke until you overtake me, because I'm like 2 points ahead of you at the moment. We're both doing
Do you know
really
who
badly.
suggested to do this game?
I don't know.
I dug my own grave.
Oh man. I think we both picked DBL 2-0 this game.
Yeah, I think everyone picked DBL 2-0.
The Oracle didn't. The Oracle said that FTV wins this game. So we'll have to see.
We're in for 2 more hours, apparently. That's interesting. I know you don't want to hear these.
I'm okay with it. I look, as I said, I've started adjusting my sleep schedule. Like, I got up at... I'm fine. I'd like some more League of Legends.
The games are like this one.
Yeah, this is
we
fun.
like to see them. The
Yeah,
first game would be a little bit of a drain.
I mean, we get to have a chat, right?
Yeah.
As another equalizer
So
is used in the mid lane.
You're actually a profit as well, because we got the Ocean Rift. And we talked about this being potentially good for FTV if they can accelerate the game. Sadly, they're 2k gold behind, so not even though it's Ocean Rift, might not help them in the end.
Yeah, it's I did say 2k and an Ocean Rift. Fortunately, they only got 50% of that deal, so it might not be enough.
2k is true as well, just like the equalizer.
It's the wrong way. As, Kuriko does land. That looks really funny when High eats someone that's in that. Police actually taking a lot of damage from that Severum Q, but it doesn't matter though, because Big Koro will burn down. Kuriko picking that one up.
Down, but Pun is here.
Yep, Pun has arrived. Police in a lot of trouble will get cleaned up by lots of damage.
Come on.
Kuriko gets hit there. Could be in a bit of trouble now, and he does go down. Akali should be able to slink into the Tarm Kench's belly. And, no, the Undertoad kills 2 here. Double kill. Could potentially be a third if he can get onto them, but he doesn't have the Ragnarok, and he will get cleaned up. Or dead in the bot lane.
Way too scared there.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think Null had to be this scared, but yeah, in the end, good play from DBL once again. Very bad flash from Police. Police it is. He flashed away when he had like 100 HP from Akali. He can't flash away from Akali.
Yeah, and Akali that had second ult up.
Yeah, I liked how Kuriko played around Akali's re-engage.
Yeah.
Shadow. Then High is his name. High saved the life of Pun for a little bit longer, but put himself in a very bad position to do so. So in the end, 2 kills back to FTV, but the play still goes in DBL's favor.
Yep, unfortunately, those kills did go onto the Olaf, who's not terrible with kills, but you really would have liked to see them onto Victory to potentially salvage this Jace doing something this game.
This is aggro Olaf, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah, he's going big.
AD jungle item. So he needs to snowball now. Jace's turn is over.
Oh no, the red carpet's been laid out. Victory taking so much damage, but he does have a team coming. A bit of a mistake there from Null. He turned and didn't get the flame spitter, but Tarm Kench is a pretty good champion. So no one dies in the end. Just a lot of damage being dealt.
Where does Tarm Kench rank in your hatred for champ?
I don't hate Tarm Kench.
No? Oh,
no, I hate when Tarm Kench is dominating the meta, because he leads to a kind of boring meta.
But that's a fair point.
When he's like he's a tier 2 support at the moment and he's good in some matchups, I think he's fine. Because he allows for more exciting ADCs. You don't.
He actually can be very fun to play. I know. Yeah. Things I say are fun to play. Very different. But I
played a game. I played Soraka top. I played 2 games of it now. I played it earlier today. It was fun.
Converted you.
I mean, yeah, I had to see how it worked. It was fun. But as a set main, I can't support it. I can't condone that kind of behavior.
That's fair, I guess. I just think it's a little bit ridiculous how everyone
Ooh.
acting like things like Soraka Top can't exist ever. But yeah, we'll not go there.
DK getting caught out. Oh, does get the Rage Cage into the Equalizer. Look at all the
Look at the
damage!
Equalizer. Oh
They're
my
burning
God.
to death.
a
DK
barbecue.
dies, but it doesn't matter. Looking like my country out here, just on fire. I'm allowed to say it. I'm allowed to make the
Is
joke.
it still on fire?
Not more than usual now.
Oh.
There was a lot of rain recently, so most of New South Wales. Now it's just a normal bushfire.
Okay, that's good to hear. But not good to hear for FTV because they didn't want this bushfire to break out.
No, they did not.
Wow, that was a roast from Noel. He is having a very good, delicious. I'm not sure, Korean barbecue maybe. Vietnamese
maybe.
barbecue, is that the thing?
I think so.
Not sure.
Vietnam. God. You know who's got this? Like I'm going off the rails. You know what is really nice in terms of like stuff that's fried. I know you don't eat it because you're vegetarian, but I had a while ago. I went to like an Argentinian place. They have like steak. It's kind
meat
of steak.
Meat. Nice.
Yeah, it is meat with meat. If you do see the replay here, look at this absolute roast house. The steakhouse is open.
Yeah, there's a reason why this combination is famous, and he can. if you're ever in doubt of J4, show someone this clip because that is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
That is basically both only used their ultimate. This was basically only ultimate, a little bit of flame splitter damage in the end, but Null was too far away to really apply all of the flame splitter damage there. So.
The ultimate's just doing so much. As Pun is a little bit caught out, but is Akali, so gets away.
That's right.
Never mind.
Oh god, Akali.
Akali, what an abomination. Truly 200 years of game.
She is going to be dead next patch, or is she?
No, she got a micro
buffed.
patch. The buffs were pretty big, but I still think the R1 being targeted is.
Yeah. I think in pro play she's probably gone, or at least.
I mean, she's already gone in solo queue. She's got like a 43% win rate. Because she's hard.
I think this is the first step in the right direction for Akali, to be honest. Take away some of the mechanics that make her absolutely unbearable.
Ornn coming in, only hitting Tom Kench, and the red carpet is out. No problem. And FTV has to disengage.
Police.
Yep, absolutely
Oh
ridiculous.
my god. He stood there for 2 seconds. He didn't even take the whole. I think he just straight up dies. To hold the whole equalizer.
Yeah, I think he literally burns to death.
Absurd. Oh.
Oof. So, while we have a bit of a lull and we're waiting for DBL to decide where next to burn, what's your favorite cuisine? Curious.
Oh, that's interesting. Interesting question. I think
because German cuisine's quite meat heavy, isn't it? I know you don't eat meat.
And no one in Germany seems to be eating German cuisine. Someone. A German, what German cuisine is about? I don't know.
I mean, I pretty much just
say restaurant.
Yeah. I associate it with bratwurst and stuff. Obviously, yeah. I imagine that's not eaten too much. It'd be pretty unhealthy.
Yeah, it's more fast food, right? It's not real cuisine.
God, bratwurst is fast food for you. God, I'm jealous.
Isn't it?
Not here, nah. I mean. It's not high. It's not high class or anything, but it's definitely not fast food.
Okay. Maybe I don't quite know the distinctions between all the different things there.
Maybe Australia is just less refined.
Yeah,
very possible.
So I'd say Indian or Thai probably.
Thai's really good.
They have very good curries, and I love curries. Obviously, as a vegetarian, those are. I think those are the best things to eat. But Italian is very good as well. And I like Mexican food as well.
Yeah, mine is Mexican. I love Mexican food.
Yeah, Mexican is good as well.
Got a good kick. Yeah, it's got a good kick. It's got really nice flavors. Overall, just good stuff. And the lovely thing about where I live in Australia is it is one of the most multicultural cities on the planet. So if you can name a cuisine, there's probably a place in the city that serves it.
I was super surprised when I went to Seoul how many international like restaurants were there, because I lived in Japan for a year, right? And it is quite hard in Japan to get good, not too expensive food from different countries.
Oh, really?
So,
That's interesting.
but in Seoul it was very easy. There were so many Mexican restaurants, Italian restaurants, like everything. So yeah, it's good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose
Seoul, you should go to Seoul. Seoul is cool.
I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to go to lots
Yeah,
of
of course,
places.
of course.
It's a little bit expensive. I went to
Seoul is if you get there, Seoul is very cheap
yeah. I've
to
got to
get
get
there.
there.
It's expensive to get there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the. I mean, I did a fair bit of traveling last year because I went to visit my brother. He lives in Paris, as we do see DBL pushing down. Who cares? This is more interesting. I went to visit my brother in Paris, and then I did a bit of traveling around Europe because you're going to go all the way to France from Australia. You may as well travel. I really like the Netherlands.
Of course.
The Netherlands is a lovely country.
Yeah. It's very true.
I only did 1 or 2 days in Berlin, so I didn't really get to experience too much of it, just because it was the way it was timed. But yeah, it was good.
I think if I could freely choose where to live or where to be born from all the countries I've seen so far, Netherlands and Denmark probably are the two highest up on my list, I guess.
I haven't been to Denmark.
Well, yeah, Copenhagen is a great city. Way too expensive, but if you're Danish, you have the money probably. So not
Probably.
everyone, of course.
Yeah, of course. But
Always poverty, but
you get paid
it's-
relative to cost of living. Well, meant to. Again, just checking in with the game.
Yeah,
Nothing's
just
happening.
quickly checking in. Yeah, this game is so over. It's really not.
Like,
We
I'd love
talked
to.
about FTV's team composition.
We love to talk.
Come on,
We don't often go into podcasting
we really
because
don't.
it's the
We really don't.
VCS. We never have time. But this is looking like the LCK, so we're doing our best LCK broadcast impression.
This game is not even looking like LCK.
No, it's not.
so
LCK is
over.
clean.
FTV can't do anything anymore. They're outscaled. They're also 5k gold behind. So even if they were be behind, but they are not on even scaling. They have a Jace of 04 Jace. So nice. You won the lottery. Yeah,
Pretty much. This is not good.
They probably can't even kill the J4. I'd guess they take a lot of time to kill DK, who has a way better game than them in the first. It's good to see him improve. His first game was a little bit atrocious, but yeah, second game way better.
Yeah. Rika at least not looking bad on this Ornn. That might be something to go ahead in the split.
Once again, a little bit of a molding build for there on the Ornn. I know he absolutely hates this Frozen Fist build.
Yeah, he hates the Frozen Fist because it's just not efficient. It's one of the least efficient ornaments. We do finally have something happening. Rika is caught out, does dash away, put in the Rage Cage. Actually, really good feather usage there. And the Goat does a lot as well. DK gets eaten up.
Akali?
Null will go down, as will Pun. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but FTV actually does have the health bar lead, but they can't chase through the Aphelios turret. It's a 1-for-1.
So Pun decided to int.
Yep.
That's okay.
He went
can do that.
very, very deep.
Rika for Pun, both top lane is dead. DBL with the inside track on Drake. And it seems like FTV doesn't even try to contest, which I think is the wrong call here.
Yeah, I don't think you can let them be on it.
Potentially.
Like, if you're going to let them have Ocean Soul point and then Ocean Soul, why are you even playing the game?
Yeah, that's
Like,
a
just
very good
surrender at that
question.
point. You need to try. I mean, it would have to
I
be...
mean, this was the perfect opportunity to try, right? They just
Yep.
killed Pun, or Pun killed himself, to be fair, but they had
Hey, he's
health bar
dead,
leads.
though. As
Yeah.
long as he's in the chamber,
They had
that's
health
what
bar leads,
matters.
as you said, so just try to get the Ocean Drake. Next one will be harder to fight for you.
Yeah, it's very true. It's not going to get better, to say the least. Maybe,
Nope.
I don't know, maybe in
It's Molten
an hour?
Edge now.
Yeah, Molten Edge. That is actually a pretty big spike. Xayah might be able to do something. It is 2 items to 2 items on the 80 carries, but one of them is upgraded. But this game, not really about the 80 carries, is it?
You can also see how unimportant the Jace is by how the on just straight up went to the molten edge, even though the Youngest Ghost Blade was built for like 10 minutes or something. He's like, nope, I'm not upgrading anything for this player.
At this point, Rika's in comms saying, "Can I upgrade 2 for the same person if I don't upgrade anything for
look
Victory?"
at Pod. He actually upgraded Pod's item instead of Victory. I love
This is like low-key rude. But High is caught out. The Infernal... Oh my god, that Aphelios ult does way too much damage.
Aphelios.
And here comes the carpet. Pun goes flying in, gets the double kill. Can he find the triple? He's going for it. Zyra ult is used, but there's no Blade Caller. Has the triple. Victory doesn't do damage, so it should be a quad. Oh, never mind. He actually gets gobbled up. Gets away, though. Null looking for him. But it's only 3 dead.
That big core damage.
That was 200 years of collective game design.
No, 400 years. We had Aphelios and Akali.
True, we had both. We need a comp that has
Aphelios and Akali is actually so disgusting. I've never seen the 2 champs together, and you should not see the 2 champs together.
You should never see them on 10.2.
But yeah, Aphelios just shoots his ult, and Akali can execute everyone, as we just saw. A nice combination, DBL making use of their team composition that is absolutely absurd. And I mean, coaches for DBL are probably sitting backstage and just laughing at the whole game. Like, how?
I'm pretty sure.
How did we get Akali and Aphelios?
I'm pretty sure as soon as the draft was done, the team manager for DBL like pulled his phone out and was like, "All right, what restaurants are still open? What do you guys feel like?" Like as he's walking off the stage with the draft done, it's like, "Yeah, what are you guys after?" Because we'll be out of here in about 40 minutes. We do just need... I mean, one thing to comment on for DBL is can they close this out cleanly? I think they're just waiting for Soul at this point, because why not?
Because, oh my god.
God.
Look at this.
What are they meant
and
to do?
Follow-up
that was actually really good mechanics out of Pun.
Horrendous.
That was good mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh
god.
It's Jace paying dividends.
Yeah. Look at him. Oh, he almost got the kill. What was that damage from a Bikoro? That is one of the strongest combination as well for short range. I've actually never seen a red-blue combination. So Severum it is?
Severum and Infernum. It is
Severum and
Severum and Infernum. Yeah, it's ridiculous for AoE. You go
I've never seen someone use this. It's interesting. So Severum Q to use offhand Infernum damage.
Yeah, it's absurd. And the big thing is it doesn't even use your flamethrower. Ammo. It uses your Severum ammo.
It's just 10 ammo, right?
Yeah,
10
ammo
Severum
ammo.
Q.
And then, yeah.
I need to get some Aphelios games in, I guess. But he's very, very much nerfed now, right?
He's still strong. He's still strong.
He's very squishy, though, so, yeah.
That's true.
I really like this itemization from DK. Look at his items, very effective. The anti-crit item renderings, as well as stone plate. So he's super tanky.
The red carpet is laid down. This could be the final fight. DBL actually going a little bit low is Pun,
in trouble, though.
But it doesn't matter. He gets out of there, and now the fires have started. Actually, no one dead for FTV, and we will have to see DBL peeling out. They get the inhib, but they manage to survive to FTV. Well done. Game could have ended right there.
Good kite. But DBL still is on soul point, which conveniently spawns in 10 seconds. So there we go.
They don't actually get a particularly good reset timer here. They're going to be a bit late, but High and big great.
But should still be enough. Oh, it's actually FTV's Dragon. This is a good call. This is the only way they can prevent this game from being
they have to fight
more over than it's actually already is, which it is over, but let's see.
And here is the equalizer going in here. DK in the back line will get the first kill on
Jungler
Pot.
dead.
Victory does a Q, and it did about 30 damage. Completely useless. Pun getting the second kill. Big Koro in the back line dealing so much damage to Rika, but it's Pun in the front lines that will take down Police.
Oh my God,
Victory, the only one left, and Tom Kent chasing him down. Tom Kent can definitely kill him at this point. Null, you don't need to help. And that'll be it. Right. DBL will be picking up this game.
Yep. Much more convincing, but also with a ridiculously drafting advantage. So FTV's coaches, maybe even worse than FTV's players, I'm not sure. They're really trying to challenge the players for which is not great. Oh man. Well, what's
Yep,
there to
GG.
say? Nice. They int another kill away, which is okay. Aphelios gets another one as well. So last kill of the week going over to one of these two strongest champs right now. The other one got a few kills this game as well.
Yep, absolutely. DBL taking a dominant 2-0. Looking, honestly, they just looked great. We will obviously be having a chat about this game now. What do we think, boys? What is there to say?
I think it's more interesting actually to chat. I mean, Winnie, if you have anything interesting.
Well, I'm going to answer the most interesting part of this game and say my favorite cuisine is Japanese food.
Yeah, there we go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Japanese.
Fair enough.
I was honestly really close to just saying, "Hey, Vinny, do you want to just start talking? We can have a chat." But
yeah,
we didn't go that unprofessional as much as we do.
That's a big stomp.
Yeah. What is there? FTV doesn't look good.
No. The only 0-3 team as well. The only winless team.
And I'm not
we have two. We actually have 4 teams now with 2-1, or is it even 5 teams? We have DBL 2-1 now.
I think
we have EVOS.
If FTV had won today, the league would be split into 2 scores. Half the league would have been 2-1, and half the league would have been 1-2. No, Gum would have been. No.
Oh yeah, no,
Gum would have been 2-1. Yeah, they lost to Flash.
You're right.
It would have been the direct split. I mean, yeah, it's fair enough to forget.
Yeah,
it was unexpected.
Easy to forget.
It was a great series, though. Great series. If you didn't watch that one, definitely go back.
I think it's interesting to talk about the first 2 weeks, but first we have to watch. Do you have an outstanding player for this game?
No. He was cooking them.
Null was insane.
Yeah, he completely invalidated the Jace mid pick. I mean,
another MVP for Null.
He was good.
Big Kuro got the first one today.
Yes.
Find him on my list here. Where is he?
under B for Big Kuro. That's how you have it.
Alternatively, under Null, if you know what I mean.
I only write down. Given out, so Big Kuro hasn't actually received an MVP. So this is his first MVP on our stream. For the first game, obviously. The second game, firmly Null's MVP. Also, although Pan had a great game.
He did. I dock points for he was given a Carly.
Yeah.
Really easy to have an impact on
playing against FTV.
Well, to be fair, that means we should probably dock points from Null for getting to play against Jace.
That is very fair as well.
Oh my word. Do we have anything to say about this series before we go on to talk a little bit about now that we've seen 2 weeks of play?
This series was meh.
DBL won. The Oracle got one wrong, by the way.
Probably
the Oracle
fired
2-1. Yeah, that draft was atrocious. That was really bad.
So every team has now played 3 series. We have 5 or 6 teams tied at 2-1. We have Gum, Flash, DBL, EVOS, and Loki. So 5 teams at 2-1. We have FTV at 0-3, and then there are 2 teams left, which are Adonis and Cerberus, who are 1-2.
Well
so it looks very much like we expected the league to play out, right? Adonis, Cerberus, and FTV struggling, and everyone else in contention.
Yeah, absolutely. Flash looked really good this week in their victory over Gum. I mean, you won over Gum, of course he looked good. But they... Yeah. Even if you ignore who they were against, they looked really, really good. Gum still looking sick. I think they're definitely looking like the top 2 of the league. Gum
which also
edging it out.
We had expected, right?
Yeah. They were.
If I had to power rank, I'd rank Gum slightly higher. Very close between the 2.
Mostly because Gum absolutely dominated their other series, and Flash lost one. But it's fairly
Gum
close.
also dominated early games against Flash and kind of ways. If you play 100 games between the 2 teams, I think Gum definitely wins like 60, 65. So they should be the favorite.
Stealing my turn of phrase? Wow.
I'm sorry.
Nah, it's great. You can use it. I'll lend it out. Just just send me the money on PayPal. No, I'm joking, of course. I mean, I actually think one of the really interesting questions is who do you have third and fourth? I think
Yeah,
top two is really
that's-
obvious, Gum and Flash, but who's third and fourth for you? Because it is a big tie at the moment. I'm sure someone has it because of game score, but I don't think game score is particular.
I think it's DBL and EVOS for me. I'm not quite sure on Loki. Loki is a little bit of a weak. We don't know how they will look next week. Loki can definitely go back to third place, especially if Coated and the Synergy gets
Yep.
better. Coated has
Possibly.
looked great, and Hani even has looked good on set. So right now, I'd say DBL, especially because Null is smurfing. Null is so absurdly good right now.
Yeah.
Might actually be contesting DR1 for best mid in the league, which is a great sign for DBL.
A lot to say, for sure.
Yes. So going into it, I would have said low key, then EVOS.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm willing to put EVOS third, but
I mean,
I still think Loki is has the higher ceiling than Buffalo.
But based on what we've seen,
yeah,
I think my stocks in DBL are flying up.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
It's a good time to buy some DBL.
They have good players, especially if Pan can actually become the starting top laner. Because I know we all don't really like Razor or.
He's looked better.
Hasmet.
He's looked better.
Yeah, Hasmet has looked very good this season, but Pan today has also looked great. So, yeah, I'm cautiously getting a line for a ticket to the hype train that is DBL.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm like, I'm like
here.
10 people back in the line, and I'm still kind of like.
That's the feeling I get as well.
Let's kind of wait until we get to the front. But I mean, I'm in the line. More than could be said about me 3 days ago.
Yeah, I think EVOS is a very cool team to watch. I think we tend to slightly overrate them for their cool players, especially for Sawn. For me, Divkit this week hasn't looked too great. He had a few very weird item builds, some not so great plays as well. So EVOS for me has the potential, especially come summer, to be contender for first. I'm not quite sure. I think right now they might be the weakest of the 5 teams.
I think I agree. Well, I mean, obviously, it is only
Sawn is in contention for best player of the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, god damn he is. He's had some absolutely sick performances, particularly on that Jarvan. I think that has to start being a ban. Just ban it against him. Force him onto his weird Sawn specials. Because, yeah, he's good at them, but they're also crap.
Yeah.
Graves is really bad.
So is Kindred.
Yeah, so is Kindred.
Maybe this can be our closing discussion for a week, or the first 2 weeks, to talk about the best player of the first 2 weeks, or maybe a top 3 if you can't decide on the best player or the single best player.
Okay.
DR1.
Well, how about this? I'll go first because mine mean less.
Okay.
Because I'll give you guys a moment to think. You can actually get your big brains going while I just vomit words. In no particular order. Thorn, D1, and Yoshino. Mostly for his performance tonight, because that's the one that mattered. If you were ever going to have a good game, it was tonight, and Yoshino had 3 fantastic games. That's
So
my 3.
There are 4 players I want to name, but I can only.
You have to pick 3.
Yep, I'll do something a little bit spicy. Also not in order, but for me it's Yoshino, Sawn, and Null.
Oh yeah, I mean Null, he was probably 4th or 5th for me, so not unreasonable.
I think Null's impact is even higher than DR1's. Maybe DR1 is the better player, but I think Null even more. Maybe Null is even more important to the victories of DBL. Yeah, I think it's very close between DR1 and Null for 3rd pick. Maybe even for a higher. But I think I have to take one mid laner, and I think in the first 2 weeks, Null ekes it out.
Okay.
Very slightly.
Where are you going, Vinny?
Right. DL1, Sorn, and Null.
Yeah,
Okay.
I knew it.
Okay, all right.
I thought about that as
Yeah.
well.
Well, Thorn ranks
Yeah.
all three of us, so I think that means he's
Like-
first.
Like, Yoshino played really well today, but last week
I don't
Last
think he
week was
bad.
shocking.
He wasn't bad.
He-
He went 7-0 on
He-
Fiora
Yeah,
in a
he
loss.
I mean, he played some pretty. He still played
That's
some
true.
pretty shocking games.
His Jace,
Yeah.
his Jace,
His
his
Jace
Jace
was-
games were very bad. Yeah.
Yeah, he played Jace.
But today,
Yeah.
Dia1 also got neutralized by Kati, which shouldn't happen if you look at the season for Gum. So
You would think, but I mean, Kati isn't bad.
He
But
actually
Yeah.
looked pretty good.
apparently,
But he shouldn't be on
looked-
DA1's level.
He's looked good.
He should not be on
He-
DA1.
He wasn't, and It's a matter of how the game is. You don't have to be on the level to neutralize.
That's true.
Like
So-
if we look at I mean, the classic example is Crown vs Faker in season 7.
yeah, that's very fair. I think it's very hard to decide because everyone had one off series, so we have a little bit more off series. Like Dia1 today wasn't bad, but he wasn't as good as he was before. Son's very first series against Gum, or no, it was this week, so the second series where he didn't look too great. Son was fine, and Nol's very first series was not great, but the next two were better. So maybe it's a little bit of hindsight, but if I had to decide on one player, I think I'm gonna vote Nol. But
But number
Son,
one,
yeah,
I think
it's
Thorn.
so hard. Yeah, Son is a good call as well.
I'm leaning actually towards Deer because his lowest
Yeah.
performance was the games today, and that was still a decent performance.
That's
His
actually not a
lows
bad
were
call.
not. He was his worst was the least bad.
It feels a little weird to
Essentially.
give it to him because he also has the best teammates. So
That's true, but yeah,
I think if I take your teammates into consideration, because I think between the three of them, Son has the weakest team. So and he
Mm.
still was the outstanding player. So
yeah.
my vote goes to Son, I guess.
And my vote also
Yeah.
goes to Thorn. Thorn just having a cracker of a week, but that probably brings this fortnight, which is actually, when every team is played too, because VCS scheduling. Scheduling.
Because they decided to copy something from the LMS and they copied the worst part.
Nice. They still haven't copied the playstyle, at least. So that will
As I
bring
said,
us.
they copied the worst part.
I know. Oh, yeah. I like having fun when I watch League of Legends.
Yeah, same here.
I have fun.
The rivalry.
I'm sorry you're too thick to get it.
Anyway, this will be
That's
us
an
for the
issue.
week. We can continue arguing off broadcast. Let me do a closer. Shut up. That will bring us to the end of week 2 of the VCS. Thank you everyone for joining us. If you do like the show, consider scrolling on down, joining the Discord, becoming a patron, throwing money at us, because I like to be able to pay my rent. But we will see you next Friday for another week of VCS action. I've been Everyday. With me, as always, is Yulwei, and I just pointed the wrong way again. My God. And
Yeah, I'm here.
especially this week is Vinny. Thank you so much for joining us. Really brings a lot to the analyst desk. But yeah, we'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a great week.